Mhm.
Good evening, Bhante.
I'm trying to get my program back. I don't know how I lost it. Bear with me here. It keeps on introducing all these stuff I don't want to see, and I don't know how to get rid of it.
Take your time, Bhante.
A pain.
Yeah.
Well, how can I get rid of this? There's no X to get rid of this. Gosh. So I don't have my tech person here. Every time is something new with this thing. It's an AI. I don't like AI. It thinks you want to watch all this stuff. You don't. Now here's a good one. What is Dhamma? I don't know. Sorry, folks. It doesn't show me how to get out of the screen. Anybody got any ideas?
Bhante, do you have tabs on top? Are there tabs or below? Are there tabs that you have to close?
There's no tabs available. It's just this screen takes up the whole thing. Usually there's an X or there's something else you can,
How about you do an escape? Do you have an ESC on your keyboard?
Yeah, I think I have that.
When you do an escape, do you come out the screen?
Got to make sure I'm going to hit the right button because I can't see. Oh, there we go. Now how do I get back to my...
Do you see tabs now? Do you see the tab that you want?
Okay, here we go. These computers never fail to
It's
confuse me.
okay. It's okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to pause it now. Okay, friends, sorry about that. So we'll go ahead and start with reciting the Namo Tassa and the three refuges. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Welcome, friends, to this Wednesday evening Dhamma discussion and meditation practice. So this evening we are continuing our look at the Samma Ditti Sutta, the discourse on right view or right understanding, a discourse that was given by the Venerable Sariputta. Now, the last week, we went over the three first parts of this sutra, the Venerable Sariputta explaining how there's different aspects to gaining right the view, understanding the wholesome and the root of the wholesome, understanding what is unwholesome and the root of the unwholesome. Anyway, I'm going to now switch over to the, hope I can get this shared screen okay. It's not showing me the, I always have this problem. I tested it out before. What happened to my shared screen?
It was on there for a minute.
Yeah, I know, but it keeps on eluding. Did I erase it somehow? Oh, shoot. I don't know what had happened to it.
But take a look for the article again. You see your document, Samadhi Sutta.
The Samadhi Sutta. Yeah, I had it up on my shared screen, and now it's, to share, and now it's not.
You need to open it in your computer first.
Well, I had opened it already.
Okay, then you do share screen and see if you can select the sutta instead.
But why don't you just Google it? And Thanizaro, I think, has that Dhammasiti Sutta. Just Google.
No, it's not the Samadhi Sutta. I had it already opened. Let me go back to my email. I hope I don't lose this whole thing. Hang on with me, okay? I don't know how I can get it back without going off of Zoom.
Well, you can stop sharing and then share again and make sure you share the proper screen.
Well, I don't have it. I had it opened, and now it's not showing up on any tab. And I don't know how to do it without getting off of,
No, try to stop share, Bhante, and then start. Just like
I've already done it.
But minimize your Zoom screen. Do you know how to minimize your Zoom screen?
Yes. Oh, here
And
it is.
then-
Now here it is.
Okay, okay. Open it and then open your Zoom
This
screen
is
and do
so
a
weird.
share.
I don't know why.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So now this is where we left off last week on the third section of Samadhi Sutra about when a noble disciple has understood suffering, the origin of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and the way leading to the cessation of suffering. That person
But
here and
Bhante,
now
you will
may
have to
continue
share.
to
You
suffer.
have to share the screen. Share your screen.
It should be up. It's not?
no.
It's not?
No, we can't see it.
See, this is, I don't know. This is so weird. How can I get my, this, why do they make this so difficult?
Well, if we can't see it, at least we can hear you, Bhante, when you talk about it and read
Well,
it to
it
us.
should be. I mean, I'm on Zoom. I'm trying to get it up on the thing.
I know
I
it
don't know
was
why.
up there. It was up there a couple times.
Yeah.
Strange.
Oh, gosh. I don't even have my icons about how to stop sharing. I can't, I see my little thumbnail of me on the Zoom, but I can't enlarge it to get to the, why is that?
Double click on it. Can you double click on the thumbnail?
I did, but it's not allowing.
View, click view and then speaker. We can probably see you. Yeah. Full screen when we do that. We click view
I
and
mean,
then
I can see your name here and when you're talking, now I see my little thumbnail, but okay, there it goes. I've been doing this for 5 years and I still can't figure it out. Okay, now let's see if we can do this again. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I think we're back to normal now. I have a lot of patience. Okay, so now he's going through the Paticca Samuppada in the reversed order. And I like this reversed order. You know, he was pondering, he says, you know, how might there be another way in which the noble disciple is one of right view? When a disciple understands aging and death, the origin of aging and death, the cessation of aging and death, and the way leading to the cessation of aging and death, in that way, the person is one of right view and has arrived at this true Dhamma. So this is the reversed order of the Paticca Samuppada. And what is aging and death? What is the origin of aging and death? What is the cessation of aging and death? What is the way leading to the cessation of aging and death? And so he describes the aging. It's the aging of beings in the various classes of beings. Their old age, brokenness of teeth, grayness of hair, wrinkling of skin, decline of life, weakness of faculties. This is called aging. Does anybody have any arguments against that out there? The Buddha was very perceptive. Then the passing of beings out of the various orders, they're passing away, dissolution, disappearance, dying. That is called death. So this aging and death are what is called aging and death. And what is, with the arising of birth, there's the arising of aging and death. So aging and death is dependent on birth, and therefore the suffering, because the aging and death in terms of all those levels of suffering. And what is the way leading to the cessation of aging and death? The Noble Eightfold Path, that is right view. So, when the Buddha first attained enlightenment, he was, he was pondering, what is the cause of suffering? Everybody wants to know what the cause of suffering is, right? They say, well, it's aging and death, and it's various types of suffering, and it's getting out what you don't like. But actually, the Buddha's answer was birth. Birth is the cause of aging and death, right? I mean, it's very logical, isn't it? No one ever stops to think like that. They always say, what's the cause of suffering? Well, I have cancer, I have this, I have that, I have so many problems. You know, we have a crazy president or whatever. Everybody talks about all these causes of suffering, but they never say birth. That's why the Buddha was so clever, you know. Anyway, so that's the answer. Is the cause of birth, suffering, old age, and death is birth. Anyway, and then what is the cause of the birth? Or they ask a further question. Well, the monks asked Sariputta, is there another way a noble disciple is of right view? And then he says, well, when one understands birth, the origin of birth, the cessation of birth, and the way leading to the cessation of birth, in that way he is one of right view and has arrived at this true Dhamma. Now, this idea about the birth, this is where there's two levels of understanding birth and death. And the common one, when we're reading this sutta, it's about the actual birth of the body. But in the Paticca it's the birth of the ego consciousness. Each moment of hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, touching, and thinking, you know, each consciousness is impermanent and it arises and passes away. Each moment, each mind moment is a birth and death. And as long as we're clinging to the ego, it's because clinging to the ego is what causes the ego consciousness to keep arising. That will be clear later on when you understand that even the Buddha attained enlightenment when he was 45 years old, but he had transcended birth and death already because he had transcended ego consciousness. But anyway, that's a little bit harder to understand. So anyway, so what is the cause of, what is the birth? We already went through that. Obtaining the basis of contact. And this could be birth in any one of the realms of rebirth, not only as a human being, but if you have the karma to be born as an animal, then you'd be born as an animal world. If you have the karma to reborn as a deva, then you can be reborn as one of the deva realms, or in one of the other realms. And what is the arising of birth? With the arising of being, there's the arising of birth. So what is the cause of birth? It's being or becoming. Now the Pali word is bhava. If you're familiar with the Paticca Samuppada, bhava pacchaya jati. Depending on becoming arises birth. And becoming is also, now here they translate the word as being. With the cessation of being, there's a cessation of birth, but other translators translate the bhava as becoming, and I like the word becoming better because it's the creation of the karma. Because we're creating karma to be born as a human being, we'll be born as a human being. If we're creating the karma to be born in the rupa jhana loka, we'll be, by attaining the jhanas, we'll be reborn there. So the bhava, the becoming, is actual the karma that we create. And that creates our being. So we're creating the karma to be born as a human being, or as an animal, then you're going to be born in that realm. So with the cessation of being, there's a cessation of birth. And the way leading to the cessation of birth is the Noble Eightfold Path. So when a noble disciple has understood birth, the origin of birth, the cessation of birth, and the way leading to the cessation of birth, that person here and now makes an end of suffering. So that means you have to understand how birth arises. It's because of becoming. It's because of the creating karma. Every moment of our life that we take deliberate action, we're developing, we're generating becoming. That's karma becoming. So that's why the being is a little bit more vague. They're the same thing, but it's, the way you translate words, you have to understand the meaning behind it. Otherwise, people get hung up on words, because these are not common definitions and words that are used in English. So that's why you have to understand what they're translating as being is the Pali word bhava, which is also translated as becoming, but for all intents and purposes, it's creating the karma. So then they asked a further question, asked him if there's another way one has a right view. And then when one understands the being, and the being means karma bhava, rupa bhava, and arupa bhava. And you have to understand the Pali words in order to understand that. Being, now go down to paragraph 30. What is the origin of being? There are these three kinds of being: sense sphere becoming, fine material being, and immaterial being. So this is what is translated as the kama bhava, is being born in the sense spheres, a human being or an animal or in the deva realms. And the fine material being is only for people who have attained the first four jhanas. And there's 16 levels of that. And immaterial being is people who've attained the arupa jhanas. So you have to understand the Dhamma a little bit more deeply to really understand that. But that's why, the Dhamma is very deep. It's not just superficial. So now, what is the cause of the being is clinging. So the arising of clinging, there is the arising of being. And with the cessation of clinging, there is the cessation of being. And the way leading to the cessation of being is just this Noble Eightfold Path. That is right view. So we've been going over right view. It has always comes first. So anyway, I want to stop with these first three sections and going over we'll go over this one more. So clinging. Is there another way that the noble disciple has won a right view? When one understands clinging, the origin of clinging, the cessation of clinging, and the way leading to the cessation of clinging. Now, the word clinging is upadana. And there's four kinds of clinging: clinging to sensual pleasures, clinging to views, clinging to rituals and observances, and clinging to the doctrine of self. So because of the clinging, and craving is the cause of clinging. With the cessation of craving, there's the cessation of clinging. So the karma is created because of the craving. We crave either material pleasures or we're craving views. You can see we cling to sensual pleasures. That means any of the sensual pleasures. Or of views. People cling to their religion, clinging to rituals and observances, rites and rituals, and clinging to the self. Those are defined as the 4 types of clinging. And clinging arises because of our desires. And our attachments and desires leads us to creating the karma that keeps that becoming strong. People cling to rites and rituals, and so on. But it's because of craving, and that's why craving is said to be the ultimate cause of suffering is the craving, because it leads to the clinging, and clinging leads to the becoming, which is the creation of more karma that generates the fuel for the birth. And then because of birth, then one has to experience suffering, old age, and then death again. And then what is the cause of craving? And the cause of craving is feeling. So you see, he's going in the Paticca Samuppada in reverse order on this, which is the way that he contemplated that. So feeling means any of the 3 types of feeling: pleasurable feeling, painful feeling, and neither painful nor pleasant feeling. Because craving arises because of that. We have and then the cause of feeling, of course, is the contacts. But I'm gonna stop here because I don't want to go on too much. I want to save the rest of it for the next week. And so I want to now see if there's any questions on any of this. And I hope that you're able to read through this, before tonight. So we've come down to the section on the craving. When one has understood craving, the arising of craving, the cessation of craving, and the way leading to the cessation of craving, the person here and now makes an end of suffering. In that way, too, a noble disciple is one of right view. Okay, so I'm going to stop the sharing now. And then come back and see if there's any questions. So I see the golden hand of Damon has a question.
Okay, I put my question in the chat also. Okay, I'll read it out loud. Okay, so this is all well and good, but how does it help me or someone like everyone here, since we have already been born? We're already suffering aging and sickness, and we are bound to the pain of death. This is only good for people who haven't been born yet.
No, it's about us being born tomorrow. Waking up, tomorrow's a new day, you're born again. The next day, next week. So until you actually physically die in this life, you're experiencing birth and death every moment, but at least every day. You're a new person. You've created becoming. Every minute of the day, you're creating karma that is adding fuel to cause the becoming, to cause future birth. So the importance of this is understanding what is the cause of this perpetual birth and death, and it's becoming, the karma. That's what we try to minimize in this life itself. The importance of it is to understand that this is occurring now. You're spending 2 hours in this class. You may not be the same. And maybe in the meditation, you might have an insight that says, oh my God, I finally understood that. Now you're not the same person anymore. You've changed. So that's the purpose of understanding this Paticca Samuppada. It's not about a future birth. It's about how we're creating karma every time we speak and act or do something or think. Deliberately, we're creating karma. And that's because of the craving and the desire. So we have to check ourselves, minimize the practices, minimizing one's craving, following the precepts, not allowing yourself to create the negative becoming that's going to cause you fear tomorrow. You know, if you told somebody a lie to your child or your wife or something like that, and they found out tomorrow, and then they come and blame you and hate you, then that's causing you suffering. So it's very practical, you know.
Okay, so even though I am already physically born 60 years ago, I still have a chance to avoid the pain of sickness, death, because I have a chance to kind of reverse. Yeah.
You can minimize the accumulation of the future suffering in this life if you by following the precepts and you stop doing those unskillful actions or any of those 10 unwholesome actions that we covered in the first part, then you will have less guilt, worry, fear, remorse, tomorrow, next month, next year. And at the moment when you're laying on your deathbed, you won't have anything to fear or worry about because you sort of cleaned up your act 30 years. You have, let's say, 20 or 30 years left to live. You got that long to work on cleaning up the mind, so to speak, developing wisdom.
Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, anybody, any other questions? Yeah, the whole practice of Dhamma is for this life itself. Even though they talk about future lives and so on, no, we're not interested in future lives. We're interested in this life. One time, people were talking about birth control and to the Dalai Lama, and somebody asked him a question, are you against birth control? And he said, I'm against rebirth control. So that's the way we should see it.
So Bhante, this is Anne.
Yes.
That whole concept of rebirth has always confused me. Now I understand what you're saying, and I get it that we're kind of reborn every minute depending on what we think and choose to think and say and do. So that's like a rebirth, like we're changing all the time. But then what about after we leave this body? Are the Buddhists saying that we might have another 1,000 or 1,000,000 lives until we clean up our act somehow in one of those lives?
Just take one at a time.
Oh, so we're just going to work on this life now.
No, you take the next life one at a time. So yes, if you're on your deathbed and you still have fear, worry, anxiety, or whatever, you still haven't perfected your meditation or let go of grasping and so on, the mind's going to be reborn. Then you have a chance in that lifetime to gain enlightenment. And that's the whole point of attaining stream entry. You know,
Yeah.
when you attain stream entry, you've reached the ability to only have, at the very most, 7 more lifetimes of karma left by destroying the fetters. This is why the 10 fetters and the 4 stages of enlightenment are useful to know, because it's those fetters that keep our mind chained to the wheel of
Yes.
birth and death. So, we shouldn't worry about the future. We should worry about the present, because it's in the present moment or the next moment that we're creating the conditions for the future. So if you take care of the present moment, moment by moment, then you don't have to worry about the future birth. It's going to happen if the conditions are there, it'll happen, but there's nothing really you can do about it. The only thing you can do about it is try to practice Dhamma as much as you can and make progress in weakening the becoming. Again, the becoming is the most important factor. But because becoming is caused by craving, that's why we try to minimize craving. And craving is caused by these feelings that we have and contacts that we'll talk next week about.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, this is something to think about. Actually, in your meditation, you can take this as a topic. It's really, I spent many, many, many hours when I was first, a monk and reading the sutras, contemplating all of these steps of the Eightfold Path, and as a thinking meditation. And it's very powerful. People never stop and think about it, but you can, think about, becoming, the different factors of becoming, and the craving and the grasping, craving, grasping, and becoming. That is the karma creating process. And you can see how it affects your mind. So to actually think about it when it's happening to you, even in meditation, when you're struggling with a painful feeling in your body. Why are you struggling with the painful feeling? Because you're clinging to the body as mine. This is my body. That's a pain in my knee. I don't like it. So you're clinging to the concept of self. That's part of clinging. This is the way we have to analyze. The Buddha didn't say all these things just to waste his breath. Every single one of these stages is very important for understanding how each one feeds the next one. And unless you really contemplate it, by contemplating it, only then it like sinks in. And then at some point you'll have that aha moment. That's it. That's really it. And you go beyond doubts. And that's what has to happen. Okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
Let me see, is there another chat? Okay, in the chat box now. So the most important practice is to be aware of the perpetuation and manifestation of an ego and to know how to let go of it. Well, yes, but you can't just let go of the ego right away. You have to understand, again, what gives rise to the ego is the wrong view, and then the craving and grasping, and how that perpetuates the ego. Yes, the sense of self. And how to let go of it is you have to let go of the things that the self identifies with, which are the 5 aggregates. You have to see the 5 aggregates of form, feeling, perception, volition, and consciousness. Clinging to these is what perpetuates the sense of I am. You look at the body in a mirror. Oh, that's me. That's my body. Oh, look, and doing all the things to it. You have to understand birth and what gives rise to it. And then, of course, the feelings, the contact feelings, and so on. So, the most important part is the becoming, to really understand becoming and to minimize that. In doing that, that will minimize the sense of self, because the sense of self depends on the becoming. That's what's important, is to understand how these things fit together, how they contribute to the whole, what the Buddha called the whole mass of suffering, the five aggregates. How to become a once returner? Well, become a stream enterer first. Forget about once returning. A never returning. Since the sequence is ignorance, formations, consciousness. So you often said that our best chance to intervene is at the point between feeling and craving. That's where we have to have our mindfulness. Yes, when we're practicing mindfulness, that means when you're practicing meditation, when you hear a sound, be aware of the attachment to the sound, the pleasant feeling or the painful feeling that's arising. Oh, that sound's disturbing me. Now you're clinging to the sense of self, that I am disturbed by a sound. So there's a sound because of contact, and then because of this desire for the sounds, and the clinging to it, and then the me, it's disturbing me, or I want to listen to that sound. The feeling gives rise to the craving for it, the craving to get it or the craving to get away from it. That's the important connection. You're right. In meditation, when we're doing our meditation, it's, being aware of the body, like I say all the time. Try to feel the outline of the body and just sort of watch the body sitting and breathing. And you can watch these contacts moment to moment. Moments of hearing, seeing, tasting, smelling, touching that are coming and going, and have your mindfulness there at those moments of contact, and see how quickly the feeling and the identification and the reaction to it arise. It arises in a microsecond.
Uh-oh, we lost Bhante. He must have been too much craving. Hey, Geraldine, you don't have any question tonight?
No, I don't. But he probably doesn't know that he's off.
Yeah.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's a technical person here. I thought it used to be Prashant, but I don't see him on the meeting today.
But he said he doesn't have his tech person with him today.
He said that?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Hasn't
Don't
he
take you.
initiated the Zoom session? How is it that he's off?
He will, Geraldine says he will come back as soon as he figures it out. Because he always likes to do yoga and meditation. So I think we should just wait for him.
He just has to rejoin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so patience.
Okay, cool.
Bhante, you're muted, Bhante.
Yep. There he is.
Nice to see you. Have a good night.
You're on mute. You're on mute, Bhante.
I'm sorry. That was my bad, as they say. I didn't have my power thing on, and the battery kind of went out. That's why I was cut off, I think. And because anyway, I don't want to go into all those details. Okay, so now where were we? Yes. So any last questions about any of that we were talking about?
Well, you actually stopped at becoming, and becoming is pretty much like the karmic energy that's created from craving and clinging that creates something or brings something else into existence.
Well,
Or
it's the karma. You know, every time we do a deliberate action, we create karma that then produces a result, an effect.
exactly.
And that is, it's making our habits stronger. In other words, every time you repeat a habit, it gets stronger. And every time you stop repeating that habit, it gradually gets weaker. Just with our brain cells, we know this from neuroscience. You know, we can change the way we think. We have certain patterns of thinking. And if you change the way you think, let's say hatred, for example, or ill will, that's why we practice metta to counteract hatred. We're creating new neural pathways, brain cells, to develop thoughts of friendliness and kindness. And as we stop creating ill will and anger or dislike in our mind, those brain cells gradually die away and give rise to the opposite qualities. That's the whole point of the right effort. The effort to abandon the unwholesome qualities and to create the wholesome qualities that we don't have yet. It's all about brain cells. Everything is brain cells. Our whole life is nothing but that. And that is where we're creating the becoming. You're creating either stronger brain cells to create more suffering, or you're creating the positive brain cells and new pathways of Dhamma, right speech, right action, right livelihood. That's
Wholesome brain cells.
Yeah, everything is brain cells. Ask a neurosurgeon.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Okay, one more question. Because for me, becoming is so hard to resist. I mean, how can one plan a vacation without experiencing becoming?
Well, you have to plan a vacation that's going to be a wholesome one, not a vacation that's going to, go somewhere to excite you. But, if you have a family, of course, then it's much more difficult. I planned a lot of things. When I go to India, if I have time, I say, oh, I'll go trekking in Nepal, or things. So we have to do a certain amount of planning, but not to cling to it. Now, many times I planned to do something and then I couldn't do it. I didn't say, oh, shucks, I can't do it. No, just do something else. You're not clinging to it. So we have to plan the future to a certain extent, but knowing that they'll change, those plans will change. And so you're not clinging to it so tightly. And always have a plan B or a plan C or no plan. Let just follow whatever kind of just, naturally arises. But of course, in lay life, it's not so easy when you have a family and other types of obligations. I mean, I have obligations here too, running this center, but, I don't create the suffering out of it, It's what I chose to do, okay. But it's a type of thing that gives me ample time to always meditate, and my mind's always in the Dhamma. So, that's you could say a good kind of thing.
Yeah. That's Baksara just said something similar. They said, this is why we need to take refuge and to reinforce to go to a vacation, to a retreat is a good, wholesome vacation.
Yeah, yes. Or did Bhaskar say that?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, taking refuge. That's why, that's the foundation of the motivation to practice.
All right.
All right. So, friends, I think we'll go ahead and bring our discussion to an end now and take a couple minutes and then come back to do some deep breathing and stretches to get grounded in the body, because that's really where the Dhamma arises. You know, the whole world arises in this, through this breathing body. And that's why, you know, the first stage of meditation is getting grounded and centered, you know, in the breathing body in the present moment, so we can clearly observe contacts, feelings and thoughts as they are rising and passing away, and contemplate. Okay? So see you back in a few minutes. Okay, friends, try to stand straight. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms at the sides. Gently close your eyes. You feel your eyes in the socket. From that point down the eyes, try to feel the outline of the standing body. Sense of the head on top, arms at the sides, clothing touching the skin, the feet pressing the floor. And then begin some deep, slow breathing. Take 2 or 3 seconds to expand your abdomen, rib cage, and upper chest. Hold the air in the lungs for 2 seconds. And then slowly breathe out. Take several more deep, slow breaths like that, cultivating this present moment awareness. And breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Hold the breath. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, standing here and now. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. Now we're going to combine this breathing with these bending, stretching movements. So on the next in breath, raise the arms over the head, interlock the fingers, turn the palms up. Straighten your arms, stretch the head back, stretch upwards, and release the fingers, the out breath, arms back to the sides, feel the air go out, the arms come down. Again, in breath, interlock the fingers, stretch up, bend back a little bit. Feel the arch in the spine, feel the sensation. Out breath, arms back to the sides. Once more, in. Stretch up, bend back a little more, hold it a little longer. Feel all the sensations. Out breath. Feel the air go out as the arms come down. Relax. Close the eyes. Feel that outline of the standing body. You can sense that outline of the standing body, it's the material form, the vibration, different sensations arising within that, feelings, pleasant or neutral sensations or any painful sensations. Just letting go of your thoughts. Feel the increased vibrations. On the next in breath, lift up on the balls of the feet while raising the hands over the head, facing the hands toward each other. Stretch up. Out breath, come back down. Feel the air go out as the arms come down. Use the in breath to help lift up the body, like blowing up a balloon, body rises up, out. Once more. Stretch. Out. Keep feeling the body, don't give the mind time. Get lost in thoughts. Just remember standing, the present moment of the body, here and now. Feel all those sensations, all those different sensations are the material vibrations. All of them have different feelings. Some are painful, some are pleasant, some are just neutral. It's the way you have to see that connection between form, contact, form, feeling. Next we'll do the side bending. On the next in-breath, raise both arms up. Keep the fingers and arms straight, close to your head. On the out-breath, bend over the right side. Feel the stretch in the side, the sensation. In-breath, lift up. And the other side, out-breath. The heart. Feel sensations, some of them might be pleasant, some of them may be unpleasant or painful. Go to the contacts. Once more. On the out breath, lower the arms, close the eyes. Just feel the clothing touching the skin, that's the contact. The clothing touching the skin is the contact that's producing those sensations. Sensations of the clothing touching the skin. Producing the feelings. Probably many neutral feelings, maybe some unpleasant feelings. Remember standing. Letting go of your thoughts. If you want to think, at least think about this. Contact produces feeling. Feelings produce desires or aversions. Next we'll do the squatting or knee bending. On the next in-breath, lift up on the balls of the feet, raise the arms up front for balance. On the out-breath, bend the knees, lower the body down, balancing on the balls of the feet. Nothing painful. In-breath, the muscles in the legs pushing the body up. In out breath, Lower down. In. Out. In. The out breath relax. Feel the increased heartbeat. Other sensations. Remember standing to hold the outline of the body in the mind's eye. Okay, now spread your legs and feet apart about 3 feet. Hold the arms out to the side. We'll do twisting from right to left. So breathe in. On the out breath, twist to the right. Keep your eyes focused on the hand going back. In breath, come back to the front. Let your feet turn with the body as you twist to the other side. Out breath. In breath, front. Keep alternating side with the breathing, out breath. In. Once more to each side. Come back to the front. Relax. Feel each foot pressing the floor. Feel the heartbeat. Clothing touching the skin. Now bring the feet back together, standing straight. With the head turning from right to left. The in-breath, turn the head to the right. You have a stiff neck, just be careful. Feel those sensations, unpleasant sensations. In the out-breath, turn the head all the way back to the left. Look over the left shoulder. In-breath, back to the right. Feel this constantly changing sensation. Once more to each side. On the in-breath, get the head stopped in the middle, feeling the whole body. Now let's do one last exercise. Backward and forward bending, we've done before. Just be careful with the back bends. Turn the palms outward, touch your little fingers. On the in-breath, raise the hands up level to the eyes. Spread the arms out to the sides as you bend back. On the out-breath, careful, look at the ceiling. In-breath, carefully lift up, keeping the arms out at the sides. On the out-breath, lower the arms and hands down toward the floor. Keep your legs straight. Let the little bones in the lower spine stretch out. Begin lifting up. Turn the palms outward again. In-breath. Lift the hands up. Out-breath, bend back. In-breath up. Out-breath, downward stretch. Once more, in, out. In. The third time, hold the downward stretch longer. Keep the legs straight, let the little bones in the lower spine stretch out. Feel all those sensations. Bend your knees a little. On the in-breath, lift up. Breathe in, bring the hands together at the chest. In the out-breath, feel the whole body vibrating, pulsating with activated life force. And basically just billions of cells interacting, keeping this body alive. Some material vibrations, producing all the different feelings you might experience, pleasant feelings, painful feelings, irritation. Just a neutral sensation. Any thoughts about them? Present moment, body-centered awareness. First stage of any deeper meditation, especially the mindfulness. Okay, so now mindfully come back to your seat, get ready for the sitting. your friends. Get comfortable in your sitting position. Try to keep your back straight, the head balanced on top. Try to find the center of gravity of the back of the head and spine over the hips. A tipping point where you could either tip backwards or forwards. Just gently close your eyes. Feel the eyes and the sockets. Feel your face. From that point on the eyes, feel the outline of the sitting body. An outline of the sitting body, there's different sensations from your head, arms, buttocks, feet, clothing touching the skin. All those sensations are the contacts, the clothing touching the skin, contacts under the skin, cells bumping into each other. Start to hold that outline of the sitting body in the mind's eye and begin some deep, slow breathing. Hold the air in the lungs after breathing in. Hold the air in 2 seconds and slowly breathe out. Just developing this mindfulness. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Hold the breath. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Feel the last bit of air go out. Breathing in, letting go of the past and future. Breathing out, sitting here and now. Breathing in, feeling the whole body. Breathing out, feeling the whole body. Now we're going to count our breaths from 1 to 10 to develop a more continuous concentration on the breathing. I'll do the counting for you. Just try to follow that with your breathing and concentration. So with the next expanding in breath, mentally count to 1. Hold the breath a second. With the contracting out breath, also count to 1. Feel the last bit of air go out. Next in breath, 2. Out breath, 2. In 3. Out 3. In 4. Out 4. In 5. Out 5. In 6. Out 6. In 7. Out 7. In 8. Out 8. In 9. Out 9. In 10. Out 10. And follow that out breath all the way down to the end. And let there be a little pause. Just let the next in breath come back under its own power. Don't force or control the breath any longer. Keep your attention on the expanding and contracting sensations, the shorter breaths, the uncontrolled breathing. Start to feel where the sensations rub against the skin, clothing, rubbing against the skin of your stomach, rib cage, your chest. As it expands and contracts. Just make that the primary focus of your present moment, concentrated awareness. Just knowing when the breath is coming in and knowing when the breath is going out. Know it by feeling it. feeling all those different sensations of expanding and contracting. Just try to hold that outline of the breathing body in the mind's eye. Feel that breathing within the larger body. You can use these mental reminders to help stay awake, alert. In sitting, out, sitting. It's the ongoing continuous connection to the present moment. In sitting, out, sitting. Breath by breath, moment by moment. Just tune into the 4 phases of each breath cycle. Expanding in breath in the brief pause. The contracting out breath in the brief pause. Try to hold that outline of the breathing body in the mind's eye. Just letting go of your thoughts. Just letting your thoughts come and go in the back of the mind. Keep the outline of the breathing body in the front of the awareness. As though you are looking into a mirror, just watching the body, breathing and sitting. In sitting. Out, sitting. Just feeling all those contacts. Clothing touching the skin, producing a contact, producing those feelings, sensations. The sound contacts from this voice. Just cultivating both concentration and mindfulness. Concentration is keeping focus on the breathing body. mindfulness is feeling all the changing sensations within that concentration. Being mindful of any thoughts trying to sneak in. Especially try to feel as the breath goes out, follow that outgoing breath down to the end. To feel the brief pause and the next in breath. Each of those in and out breaths is a birth and a death. The in breath is born, starts, lasts a second or two, then stops, dies. And the out breath starts, is born, continues a few moments, then dies or stops. It's a continuous cycle of birth and death. Each of those sensations coming and going, or thoughts coming and going, is a birth and death. Try to observe that process of contact, feeling, desire, aversion, wanting. even the sense of yourself in the mind is being born and dying at each moment. With our desires, the self is born again. If you catch the mind lost in thoughts, recognize it as lost. Take a deep, slow breath. Bring the mind back into the body. Back to sitting. Out, sitting. Or from time to time, take a few deep, slow breaths. Help stay awake, grounded in the center of the body. Breathing in, sitting. Breathing out, sitting. So many sensations coming and going, being born, dying. Sounds coming and going. Thoughts, ideas coming and going. Thoughts of I, me, and mine coming and going. Observing that process of feeling, desire, grasping, clinging, becoming, strengthening the sense of self with our various thoughts and reactions. Sabbe sankhara anicchati yada panyaya pasati atanibindati dukhi Esamango visuddhya. All conditioned things, the five aggregates of this body, mind, and world are impermanent. They arise only to briefly last, then vanish. When one sees this with the eye of wisdom, one becomes disenchanted with self-created suffering. This is the path to freedom. And thus spoke the Buddha. I invite you to join in chanting the word sadhu 3 times slowly. We do that chanting on a long out breath to feel those vibrations in the body and mind. So take a deep breath. Sadhu. Breathe. Sadhu. Breathe. Sadhu. Now place your hands at the edge of your knees. Take one more deep breath. As you breathe in, stretch your head back. Pull the hands against the knees to arch the spine. Look up at the ceiling. And lift the head up on an in-breath, and on the out-breath, press the chin to the top of the chest to stretch the neck vertebrae. And lift the chin up level on an in-breath. And relax on the out-breath. Put a smile on your face. Okay, friends. So this brings our evening Dhamma discussion and meditation to an end. Hope you're all able to have at least some minutes or longer of some good awareness, of maybe some insights into, the process of feeling, craving, grasping, becoming, how the mind recreates a sense of ourself with its thoughts or desires or actions. Okay? So next week we'll try to finish that Samaditi Sutta, try to read that again during this week. And wherever you go, wherever you do, be well, safe, be mindful, and be wise. and Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya. Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
You're
Bhante.
welcome.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Namo Buddhaya.
Thank you, Bhante. Have a good night.
Namo Buddhaya Bhante, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.